What up, all? Duck's gonna win here. Today is going to be a plant collection video. I'm gonna be doing the videoing, and my wife is going to be doing the audio because she knows more about her plants since this is her collection, not mine. So I'll be pointing, she's gonna be doing what the plant is called. Ready? First of all,
well, over there we have a type of aloe, and next to it we have a arrowhead vining plant. In actuality, those will get really large and throw off vines very similar to a philodendron. Next below that we have a variegated corn cob. Fun fact about the variegated corn cob is that they are actually more common than their green counterpart. Next to that is the white-spined cactus, very long white spine, and they're almost like paper, but at the base, as you can see, have really small spines that hurt like no other if you touch them. Next to that is another variety of aloe. It's very interesting in the fact that it gets pink, and I'm guessing that the more light it gets, it probably has more pink. Also, the spines on it are very unique and make it look really fierce compared to other aloes. Behind that is my one pride and joy that was so hard to find, and I'm happy my husband found it, is the Mario balls, because they're really squishy and fun. Next up is my big euphorbia polygona snowflake. And it is a beaut. It has this white, dusty look to it, which is amazing. And currently right now, it is blooming soon, and it has all these beautiful purple buds, and will soon produce purple flowers. So I'm excited for that. It's like a proud plant mama day. Right behind that is my very small staghorn fern. It's hanging currently. Most people like to showcase them on boards that are put up on the wall and either kodamaing them and such, but I prefer to keep it in a pot to hang because it's easier to water for me. Up there is actually one of my first house plants, and her name's Petunia. She's a ponytail palm. They have a really cool caudex. Right now hers is buried, so it can grow bigger, but she's throwing up so many shoots, which I'm excited about. Another good find of mine in Portland was the shark fin sansevieria. Some people call them whale's fin. They're really, really slow growers, but they are a great piece to have in anyone's collection, honestly. They are a showpiece. Next up is a rare occurrence of a cacti succulent to come upon, known as the bishop's cap, or the Astrophytum mystogyma, I think is how it's called, but it's really awesome. As they age, they actually get more ribs, and these samples are about 2 to 3 years old, and next to it's about 5 years old, which is really cool. Another variety right next to my 5-year-old Astrophytum is a Astrophytum goat, or the common name is goat, I should say. But they get little small, long spines that get really cool as they age. Those ones age about the same as the Astrophytum bishop cap, relatively. Behind that one is a type of Astrophytum. I am unsure of the scientific name or other common name for it. It's a new one in my collection that I actually got a deal on for $10, and other places have been selling them for $45, so I feel like I got a pretty good deal. Right behind that, looking all sad right now, is called Euphorbia enopla. It's a cutting I got from a friend of ours that I was super stoked to get. They look kind of sad as they're kind of starting to sprout roots, but I'm hoping he'll turn into a beautiful plant someday. Right next to my sansevieria, I have a strange plant. It's a weird cactus to have in my collection because cactuses aren't really wasn't an interest of mine until of late, but my husband got this one for me out of the blue, kind of indicative of the blue color. But I'm not quite sure of its name. It might be part of the Peruvian family, but unsure of. Behind there is a Hoya Splash that I got from my aunt, a cutting from her gorgeous huge plant that drapes in her southeast window, which gets this amazing gorgeous light. So I'm hoping that someday my plant will be as gorgeous as hers. Right above that is my Medusae plant, or Euphorbia medusa, that has so many pups. Like, it's ridiculous how many pups. I think it's about 12 to 15 pups. So I'm hoping that someday I either am gonna keep it growing bigger and bigger with more pups, or I might just take the pups and sell them. Unsure, not sure. Right next to that is a recent acquire of mine known as the Euphorbia variegated amok. And he's a little on the rough side right now, and that's how I bought him, because it was a little bit cheaper. As most plant people know, this is an expensive plant. Upwards of $150 to $300 depending on the plant, and sometimes even $600 for the large size. And this is only a 16-inch cutting. So I got a pretty good deal on it, let's just say that. Beneath that, another euphorbia, since I'm a euphorbia lover. This is called the Euphorbia ranciferia, or called the African rock and mound. It's really interesting, as though it's very, very dense and only has like 4 sides, kind of like a square, and it branches off, which is really cool, but at the same time scary because I don't want to bump it, because those things will drop easily. Next to it is another euphorbia called Euphorbia ferox. It's very interesting in the fact that it throws off pups, but as it gets older, it starts to get more woody near the base, and it gets huge. I've seen ones in size pots of 12 inches or more because it throws off so many pups. So I'm hoping someday my piece will be that big. Beneath that, a very, very recent acquire as of 2 days ago, are a type of cactus called the Notocactus brudengi. And they're very interesting in the fact that their ridges are super thin, almost like paper thin. And their spines get like different colors, either red or purple. And it's really cool how they group together without hitting each other, which is fascinating to me, which is another reason why I've been getting into cactuses versus euphorbias. All right, next up is an interesting but rare occurrence to find. It's called a artichoke plant, or also known as the false peyote. They can get quite large. They can get, each individual rosette can get up to 4 inches large, and they can be as small as the smallest one as seen, depending on their growth. A cool thing about this plant is that it looks almost succulent-like, and yet has spines just like a cactus, which is really, really cool and very odd. Right above those plants is 2 Tanzanian zipper plants, and I got these at Home Depot, as a matter of fact, and I'm surprised I found them there, because that is unheard of. And this one, particularly the large one, has thrown off so many pups since I've gotten it, and it is awesome, truthfully, because I'm happy, it's growing happy in my space, and currently I only have fluorescent light bulbs and a plant light, so I'm hoping that it'll get bigger and bigger in this area. Right behind it is another recent acquire from this weekend that is a Euphorbia horrida. It's the green variety. I'm guessing it's the major because it gets very large, as seen by its spines and its height. When we bought it, it was in a way too big of a pot, honestly. for a euphorbia, because euphorbias like to be more root bound, and if they have way too much soil, they're more likely to rot. So I decided to downsize his pot so he could have a little bit more strictness to his roots. Okay, another euphorbia. As you can tell, there's a trend. I'm a euphorbia person. I collect them like no other. I see them, I have to buy them. This one is another variety of the euphorbia medusa. It's the Capta medusae variety of the euphorbia medusa. They grow very thick stems, unlike the first euphorbia medusa you saw, which had very thin stems. This one my husband got for me for Valentine's Day, which was amazing, because great job.
She approved.
And it was the most amazing gift I could get. And yes, I was there when he picked it out, but he's the one who found it. He knows me so well. Alright, next to that is a Euphorbia obesa, also known, and the little ones too, also known as the baseball cactus, or euphorbia I should say, not cactus. Because euphorbias aren't exactly cactuses, but they aren't exactly succulents either. Odd, right? This guy, the bigger guy of the three, is actually a male. And for Euphorbia obesus to reproduce, they need a male and a female counterpart in order to make seeds and have those seeds be successful in growing. The one I have is a male, and he's about 5 years old, which is really good to find those on the market, because usually you only get them when they're about 1 year to 2 years old, such as those ones. So I'm hoping in about 3 years, those ones will be about the same size and maybe get a female counterpart so that I can start creating my own seeds. Next up is yet again another variety of the Euphorbia medusa. Yes, it's getting euphorbia, but they're gorgeous plants no matter what. And this one is the enormous variety of the Euphorbia medusa. They grow in between the long cylindrical of the Capta medusae and the medusa. They're like a very in between. Currently mine is flowering, which I'm quite happy. As you can see, they have the yellow little flowers. It's very pretty. These ones seem to produce pups more easily and readily than the other ones that I've seen on the market, which is kind of cool. I just gave a pup to my husband to take back. Next up is a unknown euphorbia species that I'm not quite sure of. I rescued it from a clearance zone at a nursery. It was in pretty bad shape and is still on the mend, but it's throwing off little pups, which I'm quite happy. I'm hoping I can find anything. If you guys know what it is, leave a comment down below and let me know. It'd be kind of cool. Another plant is another Sansevieria whale fin, or shark's fin, as some people like to call it. It's a younger of my two that I found. It was actually one of my first ones of the two, and I found him online. And he didn't have very many roots when I got him, but he had a nice bulb. Right next to that, another like showstopper in my collection is another Euphorbia variegated amok. This one differs very differently from my other one in the fact that this has more white and more green variation between them. This one has a lot more white, and it has areas which are very, very wavy compared to the other one also, as seen by the top. Next up is my large 13-inch pot of zigzag euphorbia. A very old one, I'm guessing, from what I've seen at other nurseries. I did get him when he was this size. Sadly, when I was bringing him back to our house from school, a piece got knocked off, sadly. But that piece is propagating for my husband. He's excited about it, but it's one of his first euphorbias. He's trying to be patient. Next up is my very large Xenographica tillandsia. It's abnormally large from ones I've seen. Usually large ones like that run about $35 to $50 depending where you are. I surprisingly got mine for $27, which was the steal of a lifetime when I went there, and I was like, yep, I'm getting it. I went to the nursery and found him. Next up, on my top shelf there, you'll see are pups of the zebra haworthia. And the zebra haworthia is really interesting because I had a bigger plant that I broke up where these pups came off that was brimming and gonna break the pot. Excuse me. Sorry. And they grow and grow and grow and grow, even if they don't really have much soil. And even if like after months and months of you not watering or caring for it, it'll still come back. It's a very, very forgiving plant. And honestly, I'd recommend it to anyone because my plant went a good couple months. Honestly, this is before I even knew what plants, like how to take care of plants, and I just got it on a whim. But these are just pups from my very big cutting, and my husband has some as well. All right, above that is a awesome piece I got on a steal of a price. It is called the Addisoni monstera. Some people call it the Swiss cheese plant, which sadly I can't have cheese since I'm lactose intolerant, but the leaves are gorgeous, and it's been putting out about 8 leaves right now, brand new, which is super exciting because I'm gonna actually do a pull in the middle to have it grow upwards, which is gonna be awesome. But this plant I got for about $17, and a lot of places right now in my area are selling them for $29, $30, $35. And I feel like I got a pretty good deal on this one. I got a discount on it because they just got them in at the nursery I was at, and they had a couple of them that had aphids. And I was scared because I don't like aphids, as every plant owner hates them, but I was like, well, you give me a discount, I'll take it even if there might be a couple aphids. And I doctored him up before I put him with my other plants, and aphid free he is and looking gorgeous. Now my last plant of the day, next to my aunt playing a violin, as I'm a violinist, is a weird plant that I'm not quite sure what it is. We're thinking it might be a type of aloe or like a haworthia type. It's very interesting. I call it my watermelon plant because it looks pink and green just like slices of watermelon, which are really awesome to draw. But I'm not quite sure. It's a very cool plant. I got it for $3. It's throwing off a pup. Got it from like an antique shop. She thought it was a cactus. No clue. But it's fun. Well, that's all my plants, pretty much. Except for the few that are at my husband's house, but enjoy my collection.
Thank you guys. Thank you, beautiful wife, for the audio. And over here, I didn't show you guys, but that is a cutting off her Medusa. And that is a pup off of this guy. So hopefully I can get him to grow. All right. Peace, peace. Comment, subscribe. You know what to do.